Today, we are going to pull back the curtain and unlock the secrets of the ovulation cycle. It's this incredible biological masterpiece that happens every month, and believe it or not, it holds some powerful clues about your overall health. I mean, just imagine for a second. What if you got a personalized report card every single month on your internal health? A signal that tells you things are going well, a little flag for potential issues. Really, a tool for truly understanding your own body. What if I told you that's not science fiction?
Well, guess what? It's not. In fact, a lot of medical professionals argue that the menstrual cycle is so important, it should be considered a fifth vital sign, right up there with your temperature and heart rate. It's a built-in health indicator. And the key to decoding it all lies in understanding its main event, ovulation. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, it helps to think of the menstrual cycle as a simple two-act play. Seriously, it has a setup, a dramatic climax, and a resolution. And the whole thing follows a pretty predictable script that's orchestrated by your hormones.
So, what is the menstrual cycle exactly? Well, at its core, it's your body's brilliant monthly mission to prepare for a potential pregnancy. This isn't just some random event. It's a purposeful rhythm, organized with incredible precision, and it's all leading up to one main event, ovulation. All right, so here are our two acts on a timeline. Act 1 is the follicular phase, which leads up to the main event, ovulation. And Act 2 is the luteal phase. Now, here's the part that's so important to get. While the second act is almost always a fixed 14 days, that first act, it can totally vary in length. That variability is the exact reason why cycle lengths can be so different from person to person and even from one month to the next. So let's raise the curtain on Act 1, the follicular phase. It kicks off on the very first day of your period, and its entire job, its whole purpose, is to prepare one single egg for its big debut. You can really think of this phase as a hormonal orchestra getting warmed up. The conductor, that's your brain. It all starts with a signal from the brain that tells the pituitary gland to release a key hormone. It's called follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH, and its name tells you exactly what it does. It travels down to the ovaries and tells a group of tiny sacs called follicles to start growing. And inside each one of those is an immature egg. Now, this is where it gets super competitive, almost like a biological tournament. As all these follicles are growing, they're all producing estrogen. But pretty soon, one follicle just outgrows all the others. It becomes the dominant one. And here's the really clever part. The rising estrogen from this leader actually tells the brain to release less FSH. This basically starves the smaller, less developed follicles, so the body can pour all of its resources into the single best, most viable egg. It's biological efficiency at its absolute finest. All of this intense preparation, this hormonal competition, it all leads us to the dramatic climax of our story. This is the moment everything has been building towards. This is ovulation. So, you remember that rising estrogen from our dominant follicle? Well, once it hits a certain critical level, it does something truly amazing. It flips a switch in the brain and completely changes the hormonal conversation. That switch triggers a massive, rapid surge of another hormone called luteinizing hormone, or LH. And this LH surge, that's the ultimate green light. It kicks off this whole complex chain reaction, activating enzymes that weaken the follicle wall and essentially pave the way for the mature egg to finally break free. And this isn't random at all. We're talking about a remarkably precise schedule here. From the moment that LH surge begins, it takes about 36 to 44 hours for the follicle to rupture. And that rupture, the release of the egg, that is the moment of ovulation. Okay, so the egg is released, the climax is over, but what happens next? Now we enter Act 2, the luteal phase. You can think of this as the waiting game, where the body's story can follow one of two very, very different paths. That empty follicle, the one that just released the egg, it doesn't just disappear. It undergoes this incredible transformation and becomes a structure called the corpus luteum. You can think of it like a temporary little gland. And its main job is to pump out progesterone, a hormone that makes the uterine lining thick, stable, and perfectly nourished, just in case a pregnancy happens.
And right here, the body arrives at a fork in the road with two possible outcomes. If the egg is fertilized and implants in the uterus, the corpus luteum gets a signal to keep making that vital progesterone which sustains the early pregnancy. But if fertilization doesn't happen, the corpus luteum just fades away after about 2 weeks. Progesterone levels drop sharply, and that drop is the direct trigger for your period. The uterine lining is shed, and the entire play begins all over again, right from Act 1.
So, now that we understand the biology happening behind the scenes, let's bring it back to you. Your body actually gives off subtle but measurable signals throughout this entire process. And learning to read them is like learning to read that monthly health report we talked about at the beginning. And I mean measurable signals. Get this. Your core vital signs actually change in a predictable pattern. After ovulation, that rise in progesterone causes your basal body temperature, that's your temperature when you're fully at rest, to go up just a little bit. Your resting heart rate also tends to rise by a few beats per minute. These are not random fluctuations. They are direct physical responses to the hormonal shifts of your cycle. Your body is literally telling you which act of the play it's in.
And it's not just your temperature. You can also observe other tangible signs. While that temperature rise confirms ovulation has already happened, changes in your cervical fluid can tell you it's coming. In the days leading up to ovulation, as that estrogen is peaking, your cervical fluid typically becomes more abundant, clear, and has this slippery, stretchy consistency.
All of these signs are pointing to one crucial period of time, the fertile window. This is the only time during the entire cycle when pregnancy is actually possible. So what exactly defines this all-important window?
This timeline breaks down the science, and it's pretty incredible. The fertile window lasts for about 6 days. Why so long? Because sperm can actually survive inside the female reproductive tract for up to 5 days, just kind of waiting for the egg to show up. The egg itself, once it's released, is only viable for about 24 hours. So that window is made up of those 5 days before ovulation, plus the day of ovulation itself. It's a true masterpiece of biological timing.
So here's the bottom line, the crucial takeaway. Your cycle is so much more than just your period. It's a complex, elegant, and deeply informative process. It's a reflection of your overall health, a dynamic vital sign that offers you insights month after month. The only question left is, what is your cycle telling you?